Welcome into this week's Ravens Mailbag. No Garrett Downing, he's at the Pro Bowl, so we got an upgrade. Got Cliff Brown here to answer the questions. And Cliff, we'll start off with this one. This one comes from Patrick Nicholas, and the question is, do you think the Ravens will bring back RG3 to continue to mentor Lamar Jackson as the backup?
Yes, I think they will certainly try. I think that it's a good situation for both Lamar and RG3 to have him as the backup. Obviously, they have similar playing styles. So many experiences that Lamar is going to go through, RG3 has already been through. And I think for the offense in general, they won't have to make as much of a change if they keep that scenario. However, we know RG3 is going to shop around for maybe an opportunity to start. So let's see how it plays out.
Right, that's what everybody wants, is a starting job. But I agree with you. I think this makes sense for both parties because if RG3 isn't going to get a starting job, being Lamar's backup is a nice place to be, considering Lamar's going to take some hits. There's a higher chance with a quarterback that runs as often as Lamar does of him missing some time. Knock on wood. Sorry, not to call you wood there, but we hope he doesn't get injured. But there's a potential for that. So RG3 could see time, but it's going to probably cost the Ravens a little bit more than the 1-year, $1 million deal that they gave him last year. So another interesting name here. What about Tyrod Taylor?
Right.
Unrestricted free agent.
Another guy who has been here, likes and knows this organization. I think he'd be a really good plan B if RG3 doesn't work out.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Next question comes from Kim at Under the Maryland Sun, and the question is, how long is the learning curve for Lamar Jackson throwing-wise before it's time to be concerned? Well, it's an interesting question. It's kind of a rough question because, I know that fans are a little bit concerned about the playoff game and what they saw from Lamar Jackson in that game. And, it's not like he was lighting the world on fire as a thrower since taking over as a starter. But let's keep this in mind. The dude's a rookie quarterback who came into a kind of, it's a unique situation, obviously coming in as a starter midseason. I don't think the Ravens had a ton of reps with him as the first-team quarterback. So he's stepping in with these wide receivers really and throwing to them a lot for the first time mid-season. I think the playbook really wasn't as sharp as it will be next season, going in with Lamar as the starter. And yes, does he need to improve as a passer? Absolutely. But he has all the talent. We saw him make some spectacular throws. I mean, the Mark Andrews touchdown in LA was a phenomenal throw, a number of phenomenal throws. So we know he has the talent. Now, is he ever going to look like Joe Flacco throwing the ball? Is he going to look like Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to look? He's not going to be in that mold per se, but that's okay. Lamar just has to be Lamar. None of those quarterbacks can run like Lamar. So I don't think that, if he's not quite the pocket passer those guys are, and I think he will improve, but if he's not quite at that level, hey, he's going to make a lot of plays with those legs too.
Yeah, this is a process, and we're at the very beginning of the process. He's going to improve as a passer. The question is how much. He has to be more consistent. I think it's just a matter of when he creates plays and sees guys that are wide open, he has to make those throws. Yep. I don't think he'll ever be a pinpoint passer at the highest level of accuracy like an Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees, but if he's more consistent and hits open receivers, I think it'll be just fine for the Ravens offense.
Yeah, so to answer the question, give him some time.
Yeah,
a little bit, a couple of years at least.
Absolutely.
Our last question comes from @Krug-Style Taylor Hudson, and the question is, if the Ravens decide to move on from Eric Weddle, how comfortable is the team with giving Chuck Clark or Deshaun Elliott a chance to win the job?
I think Chuck Clark did pretty well when he got an opportunity to play when Tony Jefferson was hurt, but I'm not sure that the Ravens don't want to look at that position this offseason, particularly because even if Eric Weddle comes back, we know it's not going to be a long-term situation with his career. They need to have more young talent, in my opinion, at that spot. So it's certainly going to be a position they look at. And I think the safety position has become more and more important here in the last few years, looking for safeties that can cover, blitz, tackle in open spaces. So, yeah, if they find a player like that, I think they have to take a hard look.
Yeah, I think Deshaun Elliott and Chuck Clark, yes, they'll get a look at that starting position, even if the Ravens draft a rookie and even if they draft one high. Those players they deserve to get a look. They deserve to get a chance, and John Harbaugh's really good about that. It's going to be determined on the field.
Best players play.
Exactly, and I think those guys have proven that they deserve a chance. So that's it for Ravens Mailbag this week. As always, remember to turn in your questions, #Ravens Mailbag, and we'll be back with you next week.